What up, everybody? It's Ipadbeatmaking.com here today on Friday, March 12th, 2021, giving you some news you can use. Now, before we begin, please hit the like button if you enjoy this video, as well as the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you don't miss out on the latest news, tips, tricks, sales, updates, beats, and more. Now, Stencil, the maker of the morph that we all know and love, has also been morphing and is showcasing a new piece of tech being touted as a rugged waterproof technology, and also offering another new piece of tech that is side sensing for mobile phones. Now just imagine a phone that has no buttons whatsoever but instead only uses haptic feedback. That would be very cool and probably make sure that it's waterproof at the same time. Now, even though they've been making major moves, they've done us a favor and are giving us a short but sweet update to the Stencil morph. So if you're a Stencil morph user, be sure to check that out and let us know what you think in the comments down below. Oh, and if you need overlay templates for your morph, be sure to check out Ipadbeatmaking.com, where we have some for Cubases, Nano Studio 2, LumaFusion, and more. Now, the rumored March Apple event for the iPad seems to be taking place on March 23rd, and we can't wait to see what they put out. We know we covered this on last week's news episode, but again we'll ask, do you think they'll bring out Logic Pro for iPad? And if so, what does this mean for other DAW developers? A few people brought up the fact that the price is so high that a lot of people on iOS might not be able to afford it. But we think, or rather hope, that if they did bring Logic to iOS, that your purchase on a Mac would transfer over and vice versa. So if you bought it before, you would just get it for free. We could also see them including it for free for new iPad Pro purchasers. But then again, we could also see them showing off the latest video games and cameras and keeping their offering at strictly GarageBand. But what say you? Let us know down in the comments section. And a very interesting new keyboard app has been released called V-Tines by Acoustic Samples, and this looks very interesting. It's currently priced at $14.99 on an intro sale, but it'll eventually go up to $24.99, and here's what the description says. The V-Tines instrument is based on real samples of a 1978 Fender Rhodes Mark I, fully restored with clean pickups and tines, new grommets, new hammer tips, etc. So it is the best an electric piano can sound. Our model gives you access to 100% continuous response, a very small sized library, common effects, and adjustable bell and release volumes. It also ensures that the staccatos and releases that make up for half of the realism sound perfect. Not like a fade out, not too loud, just perfect. It features sampling and modeling hybrid of a Mark I Fender Rhodes, full continuous velocity, perfect staccatos and release samples, 7 high-quality presets, bass and treble EQ adjusted to the frequencies and ranges of the original preamp, precise modeling of the original vibrato effect, and so many more things. But the thing that stands out to us is the reasonably low RAM and CPU footprint, and the fact that this app comes in at around 50 megabytes, which is great for those with smaller storage available. So it sounds like a very nice app you should be sure to check out if it interests you. Now let's get to our top app story, which just might be in the running for the app of the year. Atom 2, a piano roll. Now Atom 2 is a love child that has been over a year in the making, and it looks to improve on everything Atom 1 did in every way. Seriously. Now, we can't give you a demo of it just yet, but we can promise you that when it's released, you'll see videos of this app all over the place. You might be thinking, Ipadbeatmaking, it's a piano roll. Why is this important? Every DAW has one. Well, what if you use AUM, which has no piano roll? This is a great option for that. And what about if you don't like the piano roll in your DAW, but you like some of the stock plugins or the instruments or even the general workflow of it, you just don't like the piano roll? Now you can use Atom to facilitate your piano roll needs. Now these brief use cases are hardly doing the app justice, so I'll just read the release notes and show some slides that will be featured in the App Store. Quote, the most advanced MIDI note editor, modular sequencer, and clip launcher on iOS. Build live sets for clip launching or an entire track with unlimited length. Play the whole sequence or adjust the loop markers to iterate over a single section. Step input or record as played, all with perfect timing accuracy. Write your own code, share it with the community. You can control hardware devices, adding support for new controllers, or completely changing the behavior of existing ones. Build your own styling with custom layouts and themes, change colors, fonts, sizes, make it yours. Piano Roll 2 takes all the features you love about the first installment and expands them into an entirely new breed of modular sequencer and clip launcher, unparalleled in flexibility and depth on iOS. We redesigned it from the ground up to incorporate a plethora of new features and workflows. It's a sequencer that augments the capabilities of your host or DAW. It's a composition tool that helps you write beautiful melodies and complex polyrhythmic patterns. It's a clip launcher that integrates seamlessly with supported hardware controllers. It's a scripting playground that lets you customize your workflow with code. It's a Swiss Army knife of possibilities when working with MIDI. Here are just a few of the many use cases this modular architecture supports. Build live sets for clip launching, compose patterns with Touch, Apple Trackpad, and Apple Pencil, or use the step input mode to write melodies step by step. Capture performances in real time and export your patterns as MIDI files. Import and edit MIDI files created in other apps or from commercial packs. Record generated MIDI of other plugins or sequencers. Write harmonies and counterpoint melodies by superimposing the patterns of other atoms as ghost lanes. Construct complex polyrhythms by taking advantage of custom time signatures and grid fractions. Sequence the sequencers for full modular mayhem." End quote. Now, it's currently in the review stage for the App Store and it's slated to drop at any moment, so definitely be on the lookout for that. The developer also wants to send a huge thanks and shout out to TK32 and Win Conway for riding through the beta testing from the beginning and being the best beta testers he and the iOS community could ask for, with great ideas and dedication to battle testing them. Now, with all that said, please be aware that upon release, it will not record MIDI CC information. There is an update plan to address that, but he wanted to release it as soon as possible since, as I previously stated, it's been in the works for over a year. So CC is planned in the next major update, but no definitive date is currently out there. MPE is also on the list of things on the way, so there is lots of great additions on the way for an app that already gives us the most feature-packed piano roll app in the history of iOS. So what are your thoughts on this incredible app? Let us know down in the comments section. Now, let's move on to updates. First up, we've got Audio Layer, which adds batch import of SFZ sample library folders. Loading problems of instruments in AU host has been fixed. Tap on empty field in mapping editor opens importer again, fixed auto mapping, and also fixed a rare long project loading time in AUM. FL Studio Mobile, again not giving us that AEV3 update, has been updated to address some bug fixes. Quark Module Pro has added Synth Drum, a new sound expansion, to their latest update. New Rack AEV3 Effects Processor has added a CC generator module that can be driven using the automation tools, added a pitch bend module, added a new MIDI CC monitor module, fixed an issue which caused the spectrum analysis window to pause on loading. And Audio Tune Limited Edition app number 3 from Audio Kit has fixed a bug where parameters were not saving properly in AU host. Piano Motifs has also been updated and settings are now saved when a motif is saved to the library. 3 new options when selecting a motif from the library: play motif, load motif, and load settings. Added a hold note option for user-defined arpeggios. A new setting allows you to set the number of times a program chord progression should be repeated in a motif. Setting screen is now full window screen and new chord progressions. Quantaloop Pro Live Looper has added a fix for MIDI assignment window not working correctly on iOS 14, as well as minor stability improvements. Audio Kit's limited edition app number 5, Digitalism 2000, has a very cool new update with a new preset bank by Warfield, another new preset bank by Sound Design, and other fixes and a snappier performance. Veloco has been updated to version 6.5, and you can now add Veloco effects to any audio or remove vocals from your favorite song and replace them with your own. You should try it out now, says the update. Mood Units has fixed an issue causing delays when switching Waverly presets. Waverly preset selections are collapsed by default. Remove confusing prompt after purchase, restore to download all content when all content is downloaded. And a special note for Drambo users, they're aware of an issue exporting audio when using Waverly inside of Drambo. This may be iOS 14 specific and it is currently being investigated. Hypertron has been updated with improved master bus, high pass, and compressor, solved a problem with restored automations, as well as more bug fixes. DRC Polyphonic Synthesizer has a great new Constellations Toolkit preset pack in-app purchase available now. They've also added vintage noise emulation setting, disable keyboard scale selection when MPE is enabled, fixed 3-finger keyboard press delay bug, fixed knob sensitivity setting, as well as general bug fixes and improvements. Apparillo has minor bug fixes, as well as Factory with minor bug fixes, and Thesis has been updated with a MIDI export feature improved, and MIDI Dreams has miscellaneous small UI improvements as well as miscellaneous bug fixes. And surprising to me on this list is Cubase's 2 that has been issued a supplemental update that includes several improvements and fixes and is recommended for all Cubase's users. So shout out to Steinberg for still keeping Cubase's 2 relevant and updated, especially with Cubase's 3 currently available. Now, Degrader and GoToEQ have both been updated with preset system now supporting user presets, as well as upgraded development frameworks. Skeka Shaken Percussion has an updated UI, as well as a global preset manager that also supports user presets, optimizations that makes the audio engine use less memory, as well as an updated development framework. Next up, we've got Drambo, and they have fixed the audio unit project save with previous versions had MIDI source set to unknown on each track. Standalone audio unit modules receive MIDI events always on channel 1, regardless of the event channel. Songs exported to WAV files were distorted when imported into Ableton Live, fixed problems with the keyboard on Mac M1, and so much more. They also added a buffer rescan module, a buffer repeat module, as well as a buffer stop module. And Song and Make Music and Beats has added a new genre, boom bap, and song key and tempo are now encoded in the file name when exporting as MIDI or audio, which is great. You no longer need to type that in. The lo-fi genre now has less off-the-grid drum rhythms, a bug fix to chord mapping. Previously, some chords didn't place the third interval correctly, and lead melodies are now better aligned with complex harmonies. This can be heard especially in genres such as R&B, jazz, and boom bap. So shout out to Songin for getting us those updates and keeping the improvements of that app going. And Beatmaker 3 is constantly improving thanks to your feedback. This is version 3.0.15, and they added support for endless encoders with relative incremental options for macro controls, improved splitting and merging of patterns with automation data, improved automations of AEV3 plugin parameters, improved macro controls of AEV3 plugin parameters, fixed context switching when editing pattern automations, fixed CC6 and 38 issue for macro controls, as well as overall stability improvements. So be sure to check out that update. A lot of people are raving about the new Beatmaker 3 update, so that's great news. And now let's move on to sales. Polynome The Metronome was $14.99, it's currently $4.99. Mixbox CS was $79.99, it's currently $49.99. If you missed it at the introductory $39.99 and have been wanting Mixbox, now is the time to get on top of grabbing that. There's no telling when that sale will end, but it is one of the best values you can get on iOS, so be sure to grab that. And MIDI Strummer AEV3 plugin was $7.99, it's currently $5.99. URecord Pro was $9.99 and it's currently $4.99. MIDI Tools was $4.99 and it's currently $3.99. And Amplitude Mesa Boogie was $29.99 and it's been reduced to $7.99. And 7X Wave Sample Sequencer was $4.99 and it's currently $3.99. And with that said, we're about to get up out of here. We hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please be sure to hit the like button, as well as the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you don't miss out on the latest news, tips, tricks, sales, beats, reviews, updates, and more. And be sure to check out some of the best kits available for iOS at iPadbeatmaking.com. It's iPadbeatmaking.com. Peace.